Welcome to the 39th episode of Proofless, where we delve into the depths of America's unsolved mysteries. Cases that linger in the shadows, confounding investigators, and leaving communities with questions that reverberate across generations. I'm your host, Anna Berger, and today we're journeying to a historic coastal city in South Carolina during the late 1970s, where the disappearance of a mother and her two teenage children shattered a community's sense of safety and sparked a search that has persisted for nearly half a century. We're exploring the 1979 disappearance of Joanne Marie Carter, age 40, her daughter Rachel Elizabeth Carter, age 16, and her son Stephen Michael Carter, age 14, from Charleston, South Carolina, who vanished after a family outing, leaving behind a trail of fragmented clues and a case that remains proofless due to the absence of their bodies and unanswered questions about their fate. This is a story of a devoted family, a fleeting moment of vulnerability, and a community's relentless pursuit of the truth. So, settle in for an exhaustive journey into a mystery that continues to haunt and compel. Let's set the scene. It's August 1979 in Charleston, South Carolina, a picturesque city of about 70,000 people in Charleston County, renowned for its historic district, cobblestone streets, and vibrant low-country culture. Nestled along the Atlantic coast, Charleston is a blend of southern charm and maritime energy, with its pastel-colored homes, bustling waterfront, and thriving arts scene. The South of Broad neighborhood, a middle-class enclave of historic homes and tree-lined streets, is a place where families attend church suppers, kids bike to White Point Garden, and neighbors gather for porch conversations. The Charleston Place Mall, a modern shopping center on King Street, is a teen hotspot with its record stores, arcade, and movie theater. Joanne Marie Carter, 40, a single mother, raises her children, Rachel and Stephen, in a charming two-story home on Trad Street. Joanne, born October 15, 1938, to a local fishing family, is a resilient woman with short blonde hair, blue eyes, and a 5'6" frame, known for her warm smile, her work as a history teacher at Burke High School, and her passion for genealogy. Rachel, born April 5, 1963, with long brown hair, green eyes, and a 5'4" frame, is a junior, a talented violinist, and an aspiring music teacher who dreams of studying at the College of Charleston. Stephen, born June 12, 1965, with sandy hair, hazel eyes, and a lanky 5'6" frame, is a freshman, a soccer player with a knack for astronomy, and hopes to become an astrophysicist. The Carter family is a pillar of South of Broad. Joanne, widowed since her husband, David, a merchant marine, died in a 1975 accident, raises her children with love and discipline, balancing her teaching job with volunteering at the Charleston Museum, where she helps with historical exhibits. Rachel, nicknamed Ray by Stephen, is outgoing, often seen practicing her violin on the porch or organizing school recitals. Stephen, reserved but curious, is a star on the soccer team, spends hours stargazing with his telescope, and writes for the school science club newsletter. The family attends St. Philip's Episcopal Church, where Joanne sings in the choir, and their home is a hub for neighbors, with Rachel's friends playing records by Joni Mitchell and Stephen hosting teammates for stargazing parties. Joanne is protective, enforcing a 9 p.m. curfew, but encourages her children's ambitions. In August 1979, as summer winds down, the Carters are planning a family trip to Folly Beach, a favorite coastal spot. On the evening of August 11th, 1979, Charleston is warm and humid, with temperatures in the high 80s and a salty breeze from the Atlantic. Joanne, Rachel, and Stephen plan to attend a community festival at Marion Square, featuring local music and food vendors, followed by dinner at a nearby diner on Meeting Street. Joanne, dressed in a white blouse, khaki skirt, and sandals, carries her purse with her wallet, keys, and a genealogy notebook. Rachel, in a green sundress, sneakers, and a silver necklace, brings her journal to jot down music ideas. Stephen, in a blue t-shirt, jeans, and tennis shoes, carries a small backpack with his star chart. They leave home around 5:30 p.m. in Joanne's 1976 Ford Pinto, with Joanne driving. A neighbor, Mrs. Simmons, sees them pulling out of their driveway, waving as they head toward downtown. At 6 p.m., a festival volunteer confirms seeing the trio enjoying a band performance near the stage. Around 7:30 p.m., a diner waitress on Meeting Street serves them shrimp and grits, noting they seem cheerful. A final witness, a parking lot attendant, reports seeing 3 people resembling the Carters near the diner's lot at 8:15 p.m., standing by a dark blue pickup truck with a man described as 40-50 years old, 5'10", with short graying hair, a beard, and a denim jacket, but dim lighting obscures details. This is the last confirmed sighting of Joanne, Rachel, and Stephen Carter. When the family doesn't return by 10 p.m., Joanne's sister, Ellen, who lives in Mount Pleasant, calls friends and the festival organizers, finding no trace. At 11 p.m., Ellen reports them missing to the Charleston Police Department, CPD. The next morning, August 12th, a jogger finds Joanne's Ford Pinto parked at a rest stop off Interstate 26, 5 miles from downtown, locked, with no signs of a struggle. Inside, police find Joanne's purse containing her wallet and keys, Rachel's journal, and Stephen's backpack. Volunteers, neighbors, church members, and students from Burke High search downtown, Marion Square, and the Ashley River banks, while divers check the river. On August 13th, a hiker finds Rachel's necklace, pendant broken, in a ditch off Savannah Highway 3 miles from the rest stop. The necklace, identified by Ellen, is sent for analysis, revealing a small blood stain, later confirmed as Rachel's O-positive type, but insufficient for DNA profiling in 1979. On August 14th, a dog walker finds Stephen's star chart, folded and torn, in a wooded lot off Folly Road 4 miles away. The finds escalate the case to a suspected triple abduction, and the CPD sets up a command post at the Charleston County Courthouse. The investigation focuses on the family's last movements. The waitress's 7:30 p.m. sighting confirms they left the diner, likely heading to their car. The parking lot attendant's account narrows the window to 8:15 to 9 p.m. The man in the denim jacket becomes a focal point, with a sketch released depicting a rugged man with glasses. A second witness, a gas station clerk near Savannah Highway, reports seeing a woman resembling Joanne around 8:30 p.m., standing near a blue pickup truck with a man matching the description, but no license plate was noted. A third witness, a trucker, saw a boy resembling Stephen near Folly Road at 9 p.m., walking with a man, but the sighting is unconfirmed due to distance. The CPD interviews festival staff and diner patrons, finding no conflicts. Ellen provides photos, Joanne at the museum, Rachel with her violin, Stephen with his telescope, offering a $5,000 reward later raised to $100,000 with donations from the school district and local businesses. The case grips Charleston, dominating the Post and Courier and WCSC-TV. The Carters' extended family appears on Good Morning America and The Today Show, sparking national coverage on CBS Evening News. Tips flood in. A motel clerk reports seeing a family in Somerville. A fisherman claims a sighting in Savannah, Georgia. None are verified. The FBI joins, given the possibility of interstate kidnapping along I-26, setting up a task force with the CPD. They analyze a partial tire track near the necklace, matching a common Goodyear tread, but it's inconclusive. Cadaver dogs alert to a scent in the Folly Road lot, but digging uncovers only debris. The investigation targets local men with criminal histories. A drifter, James Jimmy Edward Harris, 47, a former dock worker with a 1976 arrest for assault, becomes a suspect. Harris, matching the denim jacket man's description, was seen near Meeting Street that night. Questioned on August 18th, he claims he was fishing at Folly Beach, but his alibi lacks witnesses. A search of his trailer finds a knife, a map of Charleston County, and a pair of muddy boots, but no link to the Carters. He fails a polygraph, citing stress, but is released. Another suspect, Robert Bobby Lee Thompson, 40, a truck driver, was spotted near Savannah Highway. Thompson, with a 1977 arrest for theft, drives a blue Chevy pickup, but a search finds no evidence, and his alibi, hauling freight, is verified. A third lead points to a transient, William Bill Ray Davis, known for loitering near Charleston Place Mall. Davis, seen on King Street, provides no clear alibi but is released. Theories about the family's fate multiply, each shrouded in uncertainty. The primary hypothesis is that they were abducted from the rest stop, possibly assaulted and killed. The necklace, star chart, and bloodstain suggest a struggle, with their bodies hidden. Perhaps in the Ashley River, a landfill, or the Francis Marion National Forest, 30 miles away. A 1980 search of a Charleston County dump, prompted by a tip about suspicious bags, yields nothing. Another theory posits a targeted attack by someone who knew their routine, possibly a museum volunteer or school acquaintance. Joanne's visibility as a teacher made her recognizable, but no suspects emerged from her circles. A third theory, fueled by Charleston's role as a port city, suggests a trafficking ring, given reports of missing persons in South Carolina. A 1979 FBI report notes trafficking activity in Savannah, but no evidence links the Carters. A fourth theory speculates they fled due to personal issues, but Joanne's stable job and the family's close ties dismiss this. A fringe hypothesis, raised in a 1980 Post and Courier article, suggests a connection to occult activity, citing rumors of cults in rural South Carolina, but investigators find no evidence. The Carters' extended family becomes relentless advocates. Ellen, joined by Joanne's brother Thomas, coordinates searches, canvassing I-26 rest stops and rural areas. They distribute flyers at Charleston Place Mall and Battery Park, appearing on Unsolved Mysteries and America's Most Wanted, sharing Joanne's genealogy notes, Rachel's sheet music, and Stephen's star charts, offering a $150,000 reward by 1982. In 1980, they found the Carter Family Foundation, supporting missing persons cases and school safety programs. The emotional toll is profound. Ellen battles depression, Thomas keeps the Carters' home intact with their belongings, and their cousins struggle with loss. Annual vigils at St. Philip's Episcopal Church draw hundreds, lighting candles for Joanne, Rachel, and Stephen. The investigation sees renewed efforts over the decades. In 1987, Detective Laura Mitchell reopens the case, re-interviewing Harris, Thompson, and Davis. Harris, now in jail for a 1984 burglary, denies involvement but fails another polygraph. A 1992 tip leads to a search of the Ashley River after a boater reports a submerged bag, but divers find debris. In 2003, the CPD uses DNA technology to retest the necklace's bloodstain, confirming Rachel's type but yielding no new profiles. The Cold Case Unit, formed in 1997, links the case to other missing persons in South Carolina, including a 1978 case in Somerville and a 1980 case in Florence, suggesting a possible serial predator. The investigation explores the theory of a regional killer operating along I-26, analyzing patterns of abductions in the Southeast. Detailed interviews with diner staff reveal inconsistencies in timelines, prompting a 2008 re-canvass of Meeting Street businesses, but no new leads emerge. In 2014, a retired FBI profiler suggests the crime mirrors the modus operandi of serial offenders active in the 1970s, such as Henry Lee Lucas, though no direct link is established. The case's psychological dimensions add complexity. Criminologists suggest the perpetrator may have been a charismatic predator, using familiarity to lure the family, as the parking lot attendant's account implies a non-threatening interaction. The lack of forced entry in the car suggests trust or coercion. The accomplice theory, though unproven, aligns with patterns in 1970s abductions, where groups exploited transient-heavy areas like Charleston's port. The CPD profiles potential suspects focusing on men with histories of predatory behavior, but the absence of forensic evidence hampers progress. A 2016 psychological analysis posits the perpetrator may have targeted families to maximize control, a rare but documented trait in serial offenders. The case reshapes Charleston's social and legal landscape. The Charleston Place Mall and Battery Park install security cameras, a rarity for 1970s venues. Burke High School mandates safety escorts and curfews, reflecting a broader shift in South Carolina's approach to child safety. The Carter Foundation supports 50 missing persons cases by 2025, funding searches, advocacy, and scholarships in the family's names for history, music, and astronomy students. Ellen testifies before South Carolina's legislature in 1981, advocating for a state missing persons database, enacted in 1983. The case influences national policy, contributing to the 1982 Missing Children Act and the 1990 National Child Search Assistance Act. Community groups establish neighborhood watches and parents form safety committees, reflecting a cultural shift toward heightened vigilance in the post-1970s era. Media coverage plays a pivotal role. Local outlets like the Post and Courier published daily updates in 1979, with editorials calling for better policing and rural patrols. National programs like 48 Hours, 2006, Dateline NBC, 2013, and The Vanished podcast, 2020, revisit the case, keeping it in the public eye. The podcast, with 16 million downloads by 2025, explores the psychological impact on Charleston, noting how the case fueled fears of family abductions and heightened parental vigilance. Online, Reddit's r/unsolved mysteries and X-posts debate theories, with users analyzing the serial killer hypothesis and comparing the case to other South Carolina disappearances, such as the 1975 Sherry Faye Smith case, though no direct links are confirmed. A 2022 thread on X, garnering 25,000 engagements, speculates about a Charleston-based trafficking ring, but investigators dismiss it for lack of evidence. Social media amplifies tips, but most are dead ends, reflecting the challenge of sifting through public speculation. Forensic advancements offer hope, but fall short. In 2020, the CPD partners with a private lab to retest the necklace and star chart using advanced DNA techniques, but environmental exposure renders samples unusable. Ground-penetrating radar, used in a 2023 search of the Francis Marion National Forest, detects anomalies, but excavations reveal only animal remains. A 2024 tip about a body in a Charleston County landfill prompts a search, but no human remains are found. The CPD's cold case unit, under Detective Sarah Evans, continues to pursue leads, collaborating with the FBI's Behavioral Analysis Unit to refine suspect profiles. Evans's 2024 report notes the case's complexity, citing the lack of bodies, Charleston's transient population, and the 1970s limited forensic capabilities as barriers. The 1970s context adds layers to the investigation's challenges. Charleston's growth as a port and tourist destination attracted drifters, complicating suspect tracking. The era's pre-DNA forensic limitations relied heavily on witness accounts, which faded over time. Socioeconomic dynamics in Charleston shaped the case's early handling. South of Broad's middle-class status drew intense media focus, but some critics in a 2022 Post and Courier op-ed argued similar cases in underserved areas received less attention. The Vanished podcast explores the psychological impact on Charleston, noting how the case fueled distrust in public spaces and reshaped community interactions. The Carters' relatives remain steadfast. Ellen organizes annual searches, combing rural South Carolina with volunteers. Thomas, now in his 70s, maintains a scrapbook of the family's photos, Joanne's genealogy notes, Rachel's sheet music, and Stephen's star charts. The foundation funds scholarships and safety programs, supporting Charleston's youth. Community support remains strong, with Charleston's Spalito Festival dedicating a tribute to the Carters since 1980. A 2025 vigil at St. Philip's Episcopal Church draws 100 attendees, reflecting the case's enduring grip. The proofless nature lies in the unknowns. Who took Joanne, Rachel, and Stephen? Was it a lone predator, a group, or a trafficking ring? Are there bodies in the river, forest, or beyond? Ellen tells the Post and Courier in 2025, "Our family is out there waiting for us." The relatives keep Joanne's books, Rachel's violin, and Stephen's telescope, a testament to a truth still elusive. That's all for the 39th episode of Proofless. The Carter family's disappearance is a tragedy that shook a coastal city and reshaped community safety. If you have information, contact the Charleston Police Department or visit carterfamilyfoundation.org. Share your thoughts on our website or social media, and join us next time for another journey into the unknown. Until then, keep searching for answers.